In this episode of Soldier Tech Battlefield, I'm here with my man Scott here from Tech Feed News, and we're going to be talking about the new Google Maps versus iOS Maps. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Soldier Tech Battlefield, where we take two products, or in this case, two pieces of software, and compare them against each other. And I have a special guest today here, Scott from Tech Feed News. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing great, man. I can't complain at all. But in this episode, we're going to be comparing three different categories versus Google Maps versus iOS, because this has been a very hot subject. And the categories we're going to be covering design, accuracy, and features. So first, I'm going to start by talking about the design. Now, the new Google Maps, I'll tell you, Scott, when I first started using it, I was pretty impressed about how Google was able to really make an application that had a lot of features, but made it very simple, very elegant, very clean design. Is that the same feeling that you got?
Well, yeah. I mean, when I first opened it up, I still hadn't upgraded my iOS, so I could compare the two together. And there's so much more information on the new Google Maps app. And with Apple Maps, I guess it looked really nice. It was really pretty. It did a lot of cool features, but the Google Maps is just way more robust. It has way more information on it.
Right. And the way they present it is definitely clever. The way you can just slide over from the right-hand side, and it gives you the different options from turning on the satellite view and looking at the transient information and things like that. And even though I feel I didn't really have a problem with iOS, the design of iOS, but it looks like Google just went a step further and actually beat out Apple in one of its best categories. That is just making things plain and simple. So I really do like the design of the new Google Maps. Now, next up, we're going to talk about accuracy. Now, as far as accuracy, that was probably my biggest problem with the new iOS Maps, because I just did a search here in St. Louis where I searched for the Fox Theater, and it zoomed all the way out, took me to a city in Missouri that was like 200 miles away, and I was just scratching my head. Did you have any problems, or what are your thoughts between Google Maps and iOS Maps as far as the accuracy?
Well, see, my girlfriend did, update her phone, so she did have Apple Maps, and last weekend, in fact, we went out to the Marin Headlands, and it actually Apple Maps had us do a complete loop around where we were supposed to go. So we drove past our destination, then looped up around it, and then back around one more time before it told us to go into the right way that we were supposed to be headed. So yes, I know that and then I used my version of Maps, which wasn't updated, and it works. And then I used the new Google Maps last night, and it worked like a charm. So guess what?
Right. You're right, and a lot of people have been having problems with that. And I think that's something Apple can get with time. But that's one of my major complaints why I felt that Apple should have just waited with this whole new Maps and to really build up that database of information.
Right, and I think the bummer with Apple Maps this time around is that whole user base that was supposed to be building a better map app is now flocking to Google Maps. So Apple's totally screwed now. That map is just going to be forgotten in some folder.
Right. Unfortunately, that's probably going to be the case. All right, our next category and our last category is going to be features. Now, some of the features of the Google Maps app that wasn't in the old version of Google Maps on iOS is turn-by-turn directions, which I find works well. And actually, you can do the same feature where you go to the lock screen. It'll actually keep giving you voice prompts. But I actually do like iOS better for the turn-by-turn directions because the way it looks and things like that. That's just one of the features I like. Are there some other couple of features that you may like?
Is it because you have a crush on Siri? You just like her voice and not Google's? Is that what it is?
I think that is the case. I have a special place in my heart for her.
Yeah. No, I mean, Apple Maps is prettier, but Google Maps they do the really cool thing in the features that you were pointing out. Like when you have a map and when you're looking for a place that you want to eat, you can just slide to swipe it up, and it'll give you Zagat reviews. And it'll give you pictures of the restaurant that other people have taken. It has all that Google Plus integration in it that Apple doesn't. The one thing that Apple does do that I like is that instead of Zagat reviews, they do Yelp reviews, because I trust Yelp reviews more than I trust Zagat.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. And then now that we finally have Street View back, which is a very popular feature of Google Maps. It's finally back on iOS now. So I think feature-wise, Google definitely has the advantage over iOS. And hopefully, again, all these things is just something that Apple can hopefully bring more features in the next version of their maps for the application. Now, to kind of sum up everything, Scott, I mean, what are your total thoughts about the future of iOS Maps, or do you honestly think that they should probably just go back to Google Maps?
I mean, I'm going to go back to Google Maps myself. I feel like Apple had a big opportunity to test this before they pushed it out, and now they're going to lose that whole user base that was kind of helping create Apple Maps into a better product. So I think with Google here, it's already taken the spot of Apple Maps on my home screen. So and I think a lot of other people are going to follow me. It's just a better app.
Right, and I did the same thing. I moved my iOS maps into another folder on another screen. I have Google right there, but I kind of actually wanted to, if Apple did not remove Google, out of iOS, will we be getting this new Google Maps application, which is better than any other map application that they ever released? So that's one thing that is a good thing as far as the competition, that Apple did take it away, and that may force Google to really put out something that made people really attack Apple for not keeping the Google Maps. So I think the future is really good. Right. So anyway, man, this has been a good discussion about Google Maps versus iOS Maps. I'm interested to see all you guys watching. What do you think about this? Leave a comment down below. And again, I want to thank Scott for coming out. You can catch him basically every day, almost every day of the week, here on Tech Feed News, and talking about everything in the world of tech every day. And so, anything else you want to say, Scott?
You are just looking handsome as ever, Mark.
Oh, thank you, man. Right back at you. All right, guys. Thanks, and we will see you next week. He'll see you tomorrow. All right. And also, guys, we're going to be doing another giveaway. We're going to be giving away the Beats by Dr. Dre pill. You actually saw this in one of my episodes here on Soldier Tech Battlefield. And all you have to do to win this thing is actually just leave a comment down below with 2 products that you'd like to see me do and compare on this show later on. So again, leave that comment down below. We'll be picking a winner at random, and good luck. The Beats Pill speakers are angled up where the jam boxes aren't. So this means that if you have these speakers sitting on the desk or something like that, it's going to be lower than you. The Beats Pill is actually going to be pushing the sound directly towards your head and towards your ears. And then the jam box is probably pushing the sound directly to your chest or below.